Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to put together these daffodils that are an SVG cutting file available on my shop. So if you've bought the cutting file, then welcome to my YouTube channel. And these are the daffodils that you're going to be able to make. There's 6 different daffodils and a whole cutting file of different leaves that you can add to it as well. The daffodils do have their own leaves, so I've got instructions which I'm going to be showing you, and also how to put them together, how I shape them, etc. So here they are. So 4 and 5 are these ones. So cutting files 4 and 5 are these ones. Now the yellow leaves are slightly different on each one, and you can see they go in the opposite direction, so it's always nice to have one facing to the left, one facing to the right. So that's 4 and 5. Then we've got number 1. So this is number 1 daffodil, and you can see it's got the lovely trumpet there, which is like a little cone. It's not too high because I thought if you're going to be posting it, you just want it to be like a large letter size, not too big. They've all got stamens in them, which are very similarly done. These ones cut smaller, so make sure that if you're cutting the files all in one go, the shorter ones are the ones that go in the flower that's face up. So that's 4, 5 in 1. This is number 2, I believe, so we've got stamens in there as well, and this is obviously one that faces. You can flip your files, don't forget, and make them go the other way if you need them to. Then we've got a bud with its own little leaf there as well, so that's just a nice little selection of bud there. And another bud going the other way, but a bit smaller, not so developed. And then there's some of the leaves, but there's an awful lot more than that. So I'll just move these out of the way and then we'll get started. We're going to start with numbers, let me see, whatever comes up first, because I've got them all laid on top of each other over here, and if I don't lift them up carefully they're going to go everywhere. So this is the instructions that you get, that you print out in your files. You get zip files to unlock, which is simple to do. There's a link on there to show you how to do it, and that's all the instructions that you need. There's pictorial instructions as well, so it says to cut the files, colour and shape the petals. So I've coloured them. All I've done is cut them in yellow, and then I've put a little bit of ink, and I've done everything cutting it in the colours needed, and then inked a little bit extra onto them. You can use your markers, watercolour, you can use white card, whatever. So what you can do is you can put the petals as they look on the picture then. So this one is going to be that one up there, I believe. That one. So that's that one. No, you can see it's the same shape. So you can put them how I've got them if you want. Doesn't really matter too much. And then this one is going to be that one there, I believe. So that's those two. This might be from the other one because 4 and 5 are slightly different. It looks a little bit different to that one, but it'd be okay. They'll still go together. Look, they still make a daffodil. That's all you want to do. And then you've got your leaves here, your 2 leaves, and then you've got your trumpet. You've got your top of your trumpet, the little frill, and the little bit that goes in the middle. Now I'm going to remove this because it does tell you how to do it. You've got all your instructions there on how to put it together. I've lumbered them when I'm talking about A, B and C and things like that, then that's what it is. Now I'll put them to the side because we're going to obviously need to see how I do it. But I'll try and follow the instructions so that you know what I'm saying. So 1, cut SVG files for daffodils 4 and 5, colour and shape the petals. So shaping the petals. Now this is, you can hear, it's card. It's not really thick card, but it is card. All I do is curl it. I hold a tool. You can use like a bamboo stick, anything like that, and I just hold the centre really tight because you don't want to rip a petal off, and being card you need to give it a little bit of force. So you can see they're really shaped. The other thing I do is I get my tweezers and I just put it down the centre and squash the leaf like that. The petal. It's a petal, Sarah. So just squash the petals any way you like, down the middle, and squash it. So what I'm doing is holding the tweezers together and just squashing it. So we've got that, and then we're going to do the same with this one. So just curl up the petals towards you. 1, 2, 3. And then put your tweezers in there, squeeze. Now you can do more shaping with this. There's all sorts of ball tools and flower accessory shaping tools on the market. So, and if you want to, you can just grab the petal and just turn it a little bit, because obviously flowers, they all turn in. So it's entirely up to you how much you want to do with that. But there's your 2 petals. Now, as far as the trumpet goes, I'll do the bottom one first. So the larger one is the one that goes on the bottom, and I've just put some darker orange ink on the top there. Now, what I do is I angle my tweezers to be a similar size, and then I just push against my finger, so I'm pushing back the card, and it's just making a little crease in it. And I just do that all the way around, because if you look at a daffodil, you see now we've got those lines, so we've got made it all like fluted. And then I'll do the same for the top one. Now the top one has tabs on it, which we'll come to when we put it together, and they are from that point there to that point there. So what I do with my tweezers is I'll just get them along there and bend the card back, so I know roughly where it's going to go, and I can adjust that, but just to give it a little bit of a start. Then I'll turn it over, because I haven't figured out how to hold my tweezers to make it bow the other way. It's obviously really simple, you just turn it to the other way, but naturally, being right-handed, I want to do that. So I've got my flute on the front now, so it's really easy to do. So we've got our little, and you can see we've got our dimension there already. Look at that, it's really cool, isn't it? But the thing that holds the dimension there, you don't need foam pads, you've got your little inner piece here. Now what we do with this one, and you can start whichever end you want, no, at the side you want, but you start at this end. Now I've just put a little bit of green ink just on the top of this stamen, because it's, forgotten what it's called, technology and all that, biology, don't know, it's just the middle of a daffodil. So I'll just run some glue along here, and that's a lot. So I use my little smearing tool, my baby finger, and just do that, and then I'm going to put some on the other side as well. This is going to get glue on your tweezers, so make sure you clean them. Knowing me, I probably won't. And then I just grab my tweezers. So tweezers are a really good thing for putting these together, because now that is tiny. Obviously you can size these up and make them bigger, don't forget, or smaller if you want to. And then I just roll it and drop it. So I just roll it. So we roll that around like that. And you can squash this, take your tweezers out halfway through and then finish rolling it, and then just going to have to take a little pinch on the bottom there, let the glue dry. So you can see you've got your stamens. Now you can do it now if you want, while you're waiting for the glue to dry, and just pull them out. So there's just, that one stays kind of in the centre as much as you can. And I've got a bit of green ink on some of these, which is fine, I'm not worried about that. And I cut these in yellow as well. I did do them where I put the orange ink on the top. I thought that looked more authentic, but they got lost with the trumpet. So you can see there, excuse me, little door. Yeah, you've got your lovely little twirly of stamens. Let me use my, there. So it's not even neat. Sorry, it's going to be out of focus. Yeah, that's all you need. So you've got that. And then we've got this little one, which is just a little frill of the daffodil trumpet. Make it look pretty. And I'll just sort of like go backwards and forwards with this, just to get some, I haven't got any words today. Seriously. Some of them in there. So we've got that, just arch it a little bit ready. And now we're ready to glue it together. So it's really, really easy. I'll keep the leaves flat for now. And then, first of all, it does say make, I mean, let's go back to this, okay? So the black line's where the glue is. So you put a bit of glue on the bottom of this one. So we're going to do that. Put a bit of glue on the bottom of there. And just at the edge, bring it down to the edge, because you want to keep that dimension and you'll lose it. I wanted it so that the daffodils, the trumpets on the daffodils were closed. So that's why I've invented them like this. Turn it over and make sure you've got those wings, if you like, coming out the sides. And just keep that pinch there, because you want it to be closed up. And that's what I'm doing here. So I've put the ink, what's wrong with me? Put the glue on the bottom, put the little piece over the top, turn it over, and that's the stage we're at there. And then we're going to put glue on those wings and close them. It does tell you in the instructions, but not on the picture. Turn it over, put a bit of glue on there, add the frilly bit, make up stamens, pop them inside. So this is the stage that we're doing. So turn it over now, that should have taken. You can adjust it slightly if you want to. put the glue on these wings. That's what I'm going to call them. It's their name. It's official. Just smooth it out because it dries quicker if it's smoothed out. If you've got a big blob, it's going to take ages. So we're just folding that over now, because with our tweezers, if you remember, we made it slightly go like that. And just let the glue take. I'm just squashing it up and down, making sure that it's good to go. And then I'm going to open it up by pinching the sides. Okay, so it's got its dimension back, but it's all closed up. And I did make them where it was just a piece that went over the top, and I didn't like it because the sides were open, because, you know, it's all about what I want. And then get our tweezers, just hold that centerpiece, and it doesn't matter what the roll's like at the bottom, because it's all going to get hidden inside of the trumpet cone. Trumpet cone sounds really weird. So I'm just going to pop that in there like so. Move it around with my tweezers till I'm happy. And give it a little squash at the bottom so that the glue's taken, and then open it back up again. And then when that's dry, I'll leave it alone. When it's dry, you can splay all your stamens out, etc. Now these two, so we've got E and F, and it says on there to add them together. Glue in the centre of E, it actually says. I think this is E. So put glue in the centre of E. I don't really think it matters which way you do it. And then pop this one over to you like. So you can go by what I've done, or you can just do that and think, yeah, that looks nice. I like that shape. It's not really that important. We're just going to leave that for a minute. While that's drying, I'm going to go back to my trumpet. So as much as I've got everything being done in one go on the pictorial instructions and written instructions, you can go back and forth as long as you get it done. Doesn't matter, does it, which order you do it in. So I've just put a little bit of glue along the edge there. I'm not going to smear it. I'm just going to add the little frill bit to the top, and I've made it a little bit longer than what it needs to be on purpose. And then when you squash the edges, you see, you haven't got, it sort of like all goes into one, and this won't be dry, so I need to leave it alone, but I really want to splay them out. This one should be nearly dry now. Now you can pop that into the palm of your hand, just use your baby finger and squash. This part here is really soft here, so if you just put it on your thumb area there and just give it a squash, it will cup it, and then you can pull the back ones away slightly if you want to. It's entirely up to you. It's your daffodil. Now we're going to put a little bit of glue, and it does tell you to put the glue onto here, and I think we're doing this way actually. I've turned it over. So put a bit of glue onto there like that, and it tells you on here, I'm just going to bring this in, to put glue top and bottom. Now you can do one at a time, or you can do it both at the same time. So I don't get glue everywhere, I'm just going to do the top. We're going to put the flower, and the trumpet's going to go that way. I think I'll have the big leaf, because that leaf's quite big. So we're going to have the big leaf going that way, like that. So I'm just going to bring it around the back and put it there, hold it. It's just there on the back. It doesn't matter where you put it. Not that important. So this one's facing that way, which is why I've got that big piece going there. And then the other part of it is to put glue at the bottom, just down the bottom diagonally there. We can curl this leaf before we do it, because then the glue can dry. So can you see what I'm doing? It was like that, and I've gone at an angle with my tool. I've just gone at an angle, and then if you do that, it causes it to really curl and curve. You can then squash that down if you want, have it flat. Depends how flat you want it. You can bend it back the other way, but it's just nice to have a little bit of something in there. And then pop that on the bottom over the base like that. Just let it go off to the side a little bit. Give that a squash. Put some glue on the back of your trumpet, and then put that trumpet facing to the left. The other one goes to the right. You're going to need that to take. If you want to hold some glue down, you could pop your tweezers inside, which is why you should splay out the little pieces at the end. And then you can just grab these stamens, she says, missing them, and move them over. The trumpet's not on there, it's not dry yet, need to wait, but you can see, really simple to do, isn't it? So really, really nice little project to do. So that's 4 and 5, so that's that one, check. Move that one to one side. Now we'll go on to this one, which is the straight flower, where it looks up like this at the end and will look like that. So this one, you can see here, I'll show you all the bits that you get. So you've got 3 orange pieces to cut, you've got 2 yellow pieces to cut. Again, I've just done the same thing with the ink in, and then you've got your 2 green leaves. So I'm just going to tip them off of there actually. Off we go. So it just says to add glue to the centre of there, pop them together, glue top and bottom, put the flower on when it's made, put glue, fold back the stamens, add the top, add the bottom, and then add the little stamens inside. But I'm going to go through that with you right now. But it may not necessarily be in that order, but everything does get done. I did do it methodically on my listing. Now this is curved, this is straight, so the curved bit is the top, just so you know. That is the centre bit for the trumpet. Then we've got our 2 leaves, but I'm going to concentrate on doing this trumpet. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the trumpet is just give it a little bit of a burnish, just to get it to curl. Just curl it like that. Okay, just get it curving. Then add some glue. Now you want it to be on the inside, so if you've got ink on the outside, then put it on the side that's got the ink. So you're going to put glue on the outside, smudge it. So bring the cone around and just get that to take. It doesn't matter if you overlap it more. I've made this bit I've made that bit big enough for it to be, you know, you can wrap it a little bit further or a little bit less, it'll fit, it'll be fine. So we're just holding that together, and while I've got this held and pinched waiting for it to dry, all these little pieces here, you're just gonna fold them in. Okay, so they will fold because they're all cut down there. You can see they just want to fold in anyway. So you're just going to do that, use your nail or tweezers or anything, and just push them all down. You can see they're already going in, and then flip them upside down like that, and then you can get your end of your tweezers and just push all the way around so they're all joined now. See, they're all joined in the middle. So you've got a little hole in the centre. That's fine, because that's why I invented this little chap to cover that up. So we can put that in now, actually, that won't hurt. So pop that in now, like so, and then that will hold all of those little pieces in. So I should use my tweezers for this, I think. So I've coloured it actually, so I better get around the coloured side. So I've coloured that, give it a squash. I'm going to use my finger and really push that down now, because I want these bits to be sitting flat. And you could just go in with your nails and just sort of like push it in a little bit, and then force it back between the fingers like that. And then you've got your little like cup shape, if you like. So that's that little piece done. Now before I go on to the stamens, I'm just gonna, the stamens are done exactly the same way as the last ones. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge, like so, on this, smear it around, and it's easier to do it this way by putting the glue on the top and taking that to the little piece. Now I've got glue all over my fingers, which will affect the side of the cone, and I don't want that to be the case. I'm just going to quickly wipe that off. Get a little bit more on there, and then make sure that's run the right way. So I've got my ink, make sure the right side's down if you've inked, and then just pop that on the top so you've got an even border, and you can change it, make it more circular, look, just by pushing in the sides, and just hold that for a sec, let that glue take, There you go, it's taken. So now you've got your lovely little top hat, flower pot. Oh, how cute would that be? With little tiny flowers in it. Oh, Sarah, you digress. Let's concentrate on what we're doing. Oh, my mind. I'm always designing in my head. There we go. So stain was exactly the same as the last ones. Run a little bit of glue along there. I'll do it again, both sides. Smudge it. Grab your tweezers. Whoops. Grab your tweezers. And then start colouring it whichever way is comfortable for you to do it. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, doesn't matter. Pinch it. Just hold it for a second. Roll it and leave it. And then we're going on to shape these. Same thing applies. Curve up. Right side, because that's the side that I've inked. You can ink both sides. Depends on how you're going to display them. Tweezers in the middle. Squash around. Tweezers in the middle. Ish. Squash around. Doesn't matter. It looks better if it's off anyway. Like that. You can pinch the ends a little bit more. There's one. Really simple, isn't it? I actually think this works really well with card, to be honest. I've got a feeling this is Papermania card, so it's probably about, I don't know, 200, 220. It was 12 by 12 paper stack, so I would have got mine probably in the range if you're in the UK. But it's like a nice card. If I was going to really shape these and go to town, like when you do paper tile, I'd probably be inclined to use more of a paper than a card. But the projects I'm going to be using these for, I need them to have a little bit of stiffness about them. So now with this, again, if you go at an angle, I want it to go that way this time. So I'm going to twist it as I do it and let it twist right round. Pop this onto the bottom. Put a bit of glue at the bottom. And then push this over the edge like that. There we go. Now if this daffodil's too long, because it's a bit longer than the others, don't be afraid to just snip off to the length you want. I'm just shortening that. Probably did that. Oh, don't snip the glue the glue bit off. Oh dear, crack myself up. So just hold that in place. And then put some glue on the top of this one, ready to take the flower, which I haven't glued together yet. And again, this is just going to be, one goes on top of the other. It will say which one to do which. It's how I designed it when I drew it. Don't worry about it. You can turn it and just go, yeah, it looks better that way. And just do that. I don't fuss over it, but when you're drawing in design, it has to have an end result. I'm just going to use that to squash onto there to make it nice and cupped. Pull back the bottom layer a little bit, like so. And then decide which way I want it to go on. You can have it any way you like. Just put it on that way. I've got glue on there already, which I just smudged everywhere. I'll push on there, see if it's around about. Oh, look at that! Not bad. Not bad. Then we'll glue our trumpet on, because once you've put the stamens inside of the trumpet, it's going to be really difficult to push down on the flower. So pop that in. I'm just using this tool because it's a good shape. Squash that down. And again, same thing with the stamens. You can try and splay them out a bit now before I put it in, actually. So remember to use the shorter ones. That's the only thing you need to remember. This one. And these. I'm going to pinch that one. I'm too close with my glasses, I can't see. So I haven't got my close-up glasses on. Bit all around there, there's a lot. Whoa, don't want to do that because then I've got glue on the leaf. Petal. Keep calling it a leaf. You can see I've got a lot of glue on it. Ridiculous. Got my tweezers. Now I'm going to just squash that on there. You know what's going to happen. When it's dry, you're going to splay them out. Just get it in there. Give it a little bit of a push to make sure it's on the bottom. And then that's that one done. So you can see you've got your lovely trumpeted daffodil. So that's that one. Now moving on to this one, which is daffodil number 2. So daffodil number 2 is one like this. That's placed to the right. It's the trumpet again is made differently, so I'll show you how to make that. Stamens are made exactly the same, so we could skip that. I'll probably do it though. I'm just worried about the fit. Oh, did you see what I just did? I just broke my daffodil top. My word, Sarah! I just pulled it apart. Yeah, don't do that. I'm going to glue it back down, but obviously I'd cut another one because that's just stupid. I can't believe I did that. Pulled it apart. We'll let that dry for a minute. So these are a little bit different, but I've designed them in the same sort of way. So again, I'm going to flute this trumpet, just like we did the other one. Now, I didn't bother fluting the comb one because I don't think it needed it. But you could. There's nothing stopping you. And again, we're going to get these bits with the side and just push them back. The little wings that we did on the others. I'm obviously not doing this in order of what it says on the sheet because that's me all over, but you're going to do all these stages when you do it, and you'll get into a rhythm of how you want to make them up. Just squash that. I really like that. It's a cool effect. I'm going to go back on that one a bit more. There we go. So we've got our little shape coming along nicely. You've got these, so this is slightly different in look, so I'm going to just curl these and then curl them back. I'm only going to pinch the larger of the 2 leaves because I think the other one's too small, and then the same again with this one. I'm just curving it. You can curve it that way and then come back that way. So there's lots of ways you can do these. If you want it to go up, you want it to go down. And then I'm going to put that in the middle of there, give it a squash, pinch the edge, and then we've got those 2. Now what's really cool about these 2 is that's the top one, so that's up here, we've got D, so that's D. So you want these to be around the right way, so we've got, let's move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. That's D, and then this is the other one, and you need to make sure, so you've got big leaf at the top, small leaf at the bottom. Big leaf at the bottom, small leaf at the top. This has got a curve on it, so it's the one that's going to go on the top. That one's straight both sides. Now what I've done is I've got a straight edge here and a straight edge here, and those 2 go together. So your glue's going to go across there, and you're going to put these over the top of each other so that those 2 straight lines, and oh, by the way, let me show you what else I designed because it's quite, makes it easy to put together. See the distance between there and there? That cup fits, that curve fits in there. So that's how you know how far along you've got to go. And then your edges are straight. So that is how it needs to sit. Okay? So it's really simple to do, and I've designed it so it's nice and easy to do that. Obviously you wouldn't break this like I did. And then what happens is this, we'll do this stage now, put a bit of glue on there, and then this just goes on the edge there, however, wherever you want it. So it goes like that. Now if you think about it, it's the trumpet, that is going in that direction, so the trumpet's going to be following the direction. So try and have it so that when you put the trumpet in that curve, it's going in the right place. I probably glued that to my mat a little bit. It's okay. Just move that to one side, and then we'll carry on with the trumpet. So with the trumpet, it's the same thing. It's just we haven't got the little edge bit to put on because of the way that the daffodil is. You're still going to do this part where you add a little bit of glue down the bottom. She says a little bit of glue down the bottom, puts a mound of glue down the bottom, because this is where we just want it to be closed. We don't want it to be too pinched. put that over the top, look around the back, make sure that it's even each side, and that the front and the back meet up at the bottom, and then pinch. So we're going to hold that together, and you can see that's going to be where the stamens go inside. Just going to leave that to dry before I go on to the next bit, and we will just make these stamens up. So exactly the same principle. You can fast forward this bit. I'll keep it in the video. I don't edit my videos, everything's done one take live. Makes for amusement, doesn't it? And it's good because when things go wrong, you see how I correct them. Like I glued it back together. How cool's that? It's amazing, isn't it? So while they're drying and you're holding them, you can get your tweezers and pull out the stamens. And obviously when it's completely dry inside the trumpet, you can go back to these and rearrange it. So they displayed that a lot nicer, didn't they? So they're all done. Now we've got to do the wings. So it's the same, I made it all, so it's the same principle, so it's not difficult to do at all. Everything fits, it all lines up. And I absolutely love designing things like this. And I'm going to be doing a lot more, I just don't know what. I haven't decided yet. So wrap those around, pinch tight. Prototypes everywhere. And then squash the two sides like that to open up your trumpet. Now don't do that until these two are dry and the bottom's dry there. Wait to the end. I'm time limited, so I've got to do it now. And then we're going to add some glue. I might put the stamens in first actually. Let's pinch the big one. Put a bit of glue around the edge. It's mostly going to get caught on the edge, this one, in the trumpet. So we're going to open up the trumpet, pop that in. What's really cool about these little roll-ups of stamen is that now when I'm pinching it, they are that width. So it's not going to close up any more than that. So it's got to stay open that much because there's a roll in the bottom saying so. So it gives you that dimension, and the dimension you get by pinching is going to stay there. And then just offer that up. You see that little curve that I made? That's because that trumpet fits in there like that. So you can add glue along here. And then just pop the trumpet on at the angle that goes with the stem. Otherwise it'll look odd. Give that a squash. And then you can go back, lift up your leaves when it's all dry, reform them, pinch them again. But there you go. Daffodil number 2. And then finally I've got, oh sorry, look at this, same thing though, it's just the leaf that goes with it because I've made them all with a leaf. And actually I could do this one so it covers that up, look, so perfect. I wouldn't do it like that normally, but as we've got a mistake, I'll put some glue on the mistake. Make sure that it covers it up like that. So we've got that one there. Problem averted. So that's that one. And then finally we've got daffodils number 6 and number 3. Okay, now these are the buds. So down the bottom here, the buds. Really easy to do these ones. So this is that bottom one there, so we'll do that last, and this is the first one. So you can see all you need to do is put the black lines are obviously the glue, so you put a bit of black on there, and that's just the top of the leaf goes onto that. Bit of glue on there, that goes on there, that goes on there, that goes on there. So it's really simple. With this one it's literally 1 2 3. So you start with the bottom one, and I've designed these and I'll show you this as I do it. Really cool. I've made them shaped, so the shape fits exactly over the top. The shapes here fit, so you know exactly where to put them together. All right, but we'll just go and make them now. There's no stamens for these. So this is number 1. Sorry, not number 1. This is the first one that we're going to do. This is your little piece that holds on the bud, if you like. So you can shape these. There's not much shape you can put in this one really. You can curve it a bit if you want to. glue it to the glue. I've just coloured the very edge. Now you could put a foam pad under this one if you want to keep the dimension on there. So this one you just put a bit of glue at the back, run it down the back edge, get this little fella, put it so that it looks right, put the bud in so it's nice and nestled in within it. On the back it looks like that, so you can see it's got a little bit of, only a little bit coverage. Then we've got a leaf that we can curl whichever way we want. Remember, angle your tool to get it to give it a nice little bit of a curl. So we can put one leaf on there, or we could even have it going the other way, but I think I'll have it on there. I might put this at the back actually. Put a bit of glue on there, and then pop that one on the front of my days. So put that on the front like that. That's going to be straight, so it's going to be a nice angled bud. And then this one will go here behind like that, I think. I do it like that. You can do it whichever way you want. I can't even remember how I told you how to do it, but on the instructions you can see the glue's drying before they're lined up at the bottom. So all you can do then, hopefully I don't do what I did before and snip all the glue off, but you can just straighten it up to go on your project like that. And then this bit, it's just an extra little bit of leaf. Now you can just curl the leaf, you don't have to put this bit on or even cut it, but it's just to give you dimension, flat dimension if you like. So just layering it up a little bit. I'm going to grab some of that glue for the point, and then just that just sits exactly over the top of that, just on the edge like that. It just gives it a little bit of dimension, a fold over of the leaf if you like, a little fold bow. So that's that one. Easy, isn't it? And then finally this one. So this one is really cool. I'm just gonna curve, actually I think I'll curve it this way a little bit. I'm not going to do much to this, it doesn't really need it, it sort of stays out on its own, it just gets built up. Could maybe come up, curl it a little if you wanted to. And then the final one, just curve that. Now, what I was trying to tell you earlier is you've got 3 pieces here. Okay, now the shape there at the top fits over there, and it shows you where to line it up on the instructions. So that fits exactly like that. So it goes up against that curve and up against those 2 points. So it's obvious where it goes. And this one, see that bit there? It's exactly the same shape. So it goes straight over the top like that, and then the points go to there. So it covers up the bottom one. You've got layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. And that's how you get that one together. So we'll just put some glue on those. So this one, you don't have to glue all the way up like it says. You can just put it on the edge, because then you could splay them open if you wanted. Just make sure that those points are lined up. It's a guide. It doesn't matter if it isn't, because obviously flowers are very forgiving. There's a lot of dimension on flowers, and no petal's the same, so just line that up, and the points at the top. Then we've got this one which goes over the top like that. So just put a bit of glue on the edge, and then just put this, you see you've got that shape going on like that. So the bud's hidden behind there, and you can add that however you want. So if you leave those bits open, you can then curl these, give it more and more dimension however you like. And then finally, last one, you've got a leaf to go on there. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the leaves are all angled at the bottom. So that if that was to be dead straight, it actually has an angle going this way. And that's because if I wanted to line up the bottom, it will automatically make the leaf go where it needs to sit. That's just to help you, it's just a guide. But if you want to put it somewhere else, by all means do, and chop it off at the bottom. So that's just to give that straight like this. And again, I'm going to hold it riskily, curling it like that. So there you go. That's your final one. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to the links in my description to my Etsy shop for the SVG file. They also come in a PNG as well, which means that you could print them out and cut them. They don't have a background, so you could take them into graphics programs and put them onto backgrounds and things like that. So have fun making, and I hope to see you again real soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.